I know that you like to build models, and sometimes you're challenged or criticized because you kind of force to put the data into a model. How do you respond?
I'm the first to change the model, and one part of my successful is that I was continuously changing my model. Sometimes I receive criticism of what I thought about 10 years ago. I say, okay, what do you mean? It's about 10 years. I don't think anymore about that. I get that new data indicate that it's going, and I always trying to modify as soon as possible, as soon as the data interact with the model and say it's not wrong, it's wrong.
Is there some point when not just you but modelers in general, they try to force the data into the model?
But that happens when the people doesn't know how to build a model. Because if you are very limited in the way you make a model, then you have one model, you want to insert the data there. But if you know enough about what's going on, the model is the conclusions of all the data you put. You cannot have a model and put the data. You need to have the data and using that data to build the model.
So how do you explain to a student when you have a model, let's say at Bayesian scale, but then you go to the outcrop, you collect data, and they don't really fit into the model? What would you say to the student?
Well, the first thing you say, the model is wrong. How you can adapt the model, or how can you build a new model in order to answer all these misfitting that the data is indicating?
And would you explain also that at some point the model doesn't have to explain everything, and it could be that we have the flexibility to accept things that are against the model?
No, I would say you cannot have things going against the model, because if you have things going against the model is not right. You need to keep in mind that the model is a work hypothesis, and a work hypothesis is valid when the data indicate is in agreement with the work hypothesis. As soon as the data doesn't fit the model, you need to change the model, or you need to change it to produce a new hypothesis. And you cannot take a hypothesis and keep it forever. And
this is you're on the spot there, because it is easier for a student or a reader to understand a model, which is generally something simplified, rather than understanding the reality of the world. So whoever builds the model has a strong responsibility, right?
Of course. In general, the model is a way to transmit the knowledge, I would say. If you make a model, it's very easy for the student who is just starting to understand what's going on. If you just explain or you present many data and try to explain all this data without a model, it's very difficult. Then a model is the first approximation, the first approach to transfer this information, this knowledge to the person. But you as a professor must keep in mind that any data you have that doesn't fit the model indicate that you need to change the model. That's very simple. What happened? Many people just see a mountain belt in Asia, it was explained by several processes, and try to use that model here. It is to copy a model. That's the worst thing you can do. You need to develop your own model based on your own data, and you need to be capable enough to see or to understand how the different data fit in the model. If you know that, it's very easy to change the model as many times as you want.